2020, me and my wife decided to move away from normal residential living. 363 days of the year, we live on a regular farm. This would normally be an agricultural field full of animals. This is how our field would usually look. We turn this regular field into a racetrack for 2 days of the year. We have one race in the summer, we have another one in the winter. The winter one's called Muddy Mayhem, the summer one's called Moped Mayhem. So it's February now, we just finished last Muddy Mayhem. I didn't win again, and I think it's about time we did something about that. I need to change my bike. So here we are then, after a week of research, Facebook Marketplace hunting, this is what we've purchased, the Yamaha Zenta 125. But before I go into why I bought this majestic beast, let me explain to you the rules, and then hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense of why I bought something so inappropriate. So when we decided we're going to do a moped race here at my house, we decided we want to keep everybody safe. We didn't want off-road bikes because they're just too fast and somebody's going to get hurt. We just want to have a bit of fun. So the rules were 50cc 2-stroke maximum, 125cc 4-stroke maximum, and the bike cannot have started off as an off-road derived bike. That's a big one. It has to have started off as something that you would find on the road. So not your Derby Senders or your RX50 Aprilias or your pit bikes, nothing like that. It has to have started off as a road bike. After that, any modification is allowed. That's a big one, because we've got some good engineers who come and ride here and they've built some really cool bits of kit. A good friend of mine, Mikey, he's built a C90, which has got motocross front end, motocross rear end. You've never seen anything like it. It's a great bike and he's a great rider. That's the sort of people we've got to try and beat. Jamie, another guy who comes and rides here at my house, another great engineer. He's got a Honda SH125, which is modified, and that is a great off-road bike as well. So we've got a lot of work to do to catch up with those guys. Now I've explained the rules a little bit, I just want to explain to you why I've gone for this type of bike over, say, your normal 125. I believe this was a Piaggio or a Peugeot maybe. The first major one being tyre size. This one's got 16-inch tyres, this one's got 13-inch tyres, and obviously the choice of rubber is quite limited on that size rim. It's quite a wide rim, quite a small rim. 16's not a hell of a lot of choice, but there is more choice. I am going to change the front wheel for a different size as well, so that's not too much problem. The next major difference, the engine. A lot of these 125 bikes and some 50s, if they're a more generic type bike, they'll come with a GY6 engine, GY650 or 125, even do a 150. But there'll be a GY6 engine usually in these bikes. They're a good engine, but I've gone for the Yamaha because it's got a liquid cooled engine. I believe it's a Yamaha engine, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me. It might be made by somebody else, I don't know. But it's a liquid cooled Yamaha engine as far as I'm aware. The next big issue, weight saving. Obviously, we want to make these bikes as light as possible. I believe this bike's 182 kilos standard, which is heavy. It's a really heavy bike, that is. But with the rules being the way they are, we can do whatever we want to this, so I can chop a lot of this away. Now, the really important thing to me is the way that the shock is mounted on this bike compared to normal 125s, or compared to other 125s, should I say. So the way the shocks are usually mounted on 125 scooters, you'll have a twin shocks, and they'll be mounted on the back of the subframe. That poses a problem because it means we can't remove any material from this side of the shock. The Yamaha, however, it's got a horizontal shock, so in theory, I haven't looked yet, but I've looked at some pictures online, you'll be able to remove anything above where that shock is mounted to the frame, which is actually quite a lot of material, so we should be able to get rid of a lot of weight off the back of this motorbike. So in the next video, we're going to break out some tools. We're going to start ripping all the bits off this we don't need, which is almost everything, all the plastics. Them two racing now. Oh, I think Jack's done it there. Yeah, that's a bit unfair really. So in the next video, we're going to start taking some bits and pieces off of this, start having a look at what we've got underneath all this bodywork and see what bits we can and can't cut off. Hopefully we can cut a lot of it off. And then we'll also start ordering some bits from China, because that's where I love to get my parts from. They're cheap, they work, and they're good enough for riding around in my backfield. Hopefully see you next time.